remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. You will remember the truth of what you are. You are a vision, a picture perfect frequency of love. You are made of stardust from above. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as you're down. It's only fear that keeps you out of the now. You will surrender to loving what you are. For what is brighter or lighter than the surface of your soul? You are spirit coming forth. You are, and you will bloom as wide as you allow. Your dreams will only reach as far as you're down. It's only fear that keeps you out of the now. You will remember the great dream that you are. The spark ignited and you sparkle like the sunlight on the lake. You are as the fire is to flame. You are. It's time. I've been waiting all my life for someone, something, anything to break the walls down. Time to move now. I can never stand alone among your sea of energy. Like a puzzle we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth. In truth. In truth. In truth. Ignite like a fire spreads its light, expressing in a flaming fury. Light your dreams now, burn your fears down. We can never stand as one among imagined enemies. Like a puzzle we unite, sharing I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth. In truth, in truth, in truth. Spiraling into a pattern of eternal life, following the path of love, gathering the thread that weaves us in divine design. Despite illusion, I am like a puzzle we unite, sharing space and time. We intertwine our lives. I'm tangled up in you. What we seek, then we shall find. So radiate my mind to understand that I am tangled up in truth. In truth, in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth, in truth. When they said you couldn't do it, when they said you wouldn't win, did you take it for the answer and not trust the voice within? How can they know which way your wind blows? Look inside of you for the truth. The voice inside of you, the calling from within will guide you on your path to heaven. And they tell you life is empty.
Good morning, Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. So excited to be with you today. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. Welcome to all of you online, as well as everybody here in our beautiful community. We are blessed to be here. We're blessed to be willing to allow this sense of spirit to come within us today. We have a great service today. So many wonderful things happening. And above all, I want to welcome a new singer we have today, Dinah Chapman. If she wants to come on up here. And she comes by way of several Unity churches as well. She's a minister as well. So we welcome her with her music today. Thank you.
So glad to be here. We're going to start off things with Daniel Chapman. Hope you all know it or can follow. My soul is welcome here. I feel welcome already. Clap.
Yeah.
Clap. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Y'all feel welcome? My soul is welcome.
Thank you so much, Dinah. I'm not sure why we didn't have you here before. You're a perfect match for this community, as well as we have a lot of common friends when we were talking. So it's great to have you here. So welcome. So from the East Bay, kind of what I call the far East Bay, but it's still East Bay, right? So welcome, everybody. Your soul is welcome here. What a great affirmation that is for us. And we also like to start with our vision and mission statement, which is another affirmation for us this morning. So if you read with me online or here in person, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. Great affirmation here. And I don't know about you, but I've still been just sitting in this connection with not only with the greater spirit that's coming through the center, but also the greater denomination of Centers for Spiritual Living. We did receive this beautiful award. I keep wanting to show this off as much as we want. For our community award for the Meritorious Community Award. And what I know is there are many centers that are doing great work too. And that's why I'm just feeling proud of not only our community, but all the Centers for Spiritual Living. I am actually in 2 places, and once today, you may not know that, but I have a clone of myself that's speaking at Boulder Valley Center for Spiritual Living today because I pre-recorded a message and I already received a text that they'd love the talk. I got a virtual standing ovation. I don't know what that looks like, but it was kind of funny. And then the other thing that happened this morning is, I don't know if you remember me telling the story last week about my friend David, Dr. Alexander at the Center for Spiritual Living, Atlanta. He began his talk this morning saying that he was at the convention. He wasn't speaking last Sunday. This is his first Sunday after the convention. And he spoke that he was having dinner with a friend, and he mentioned my name. And he said we might have had a few adult beverages. And it got on to sports, and there was a discussion about who was better, the Green Bay Packers or the San Francisco 49ers. And we had a friendly bet, and he lost. I need to tell you that. So as part of his losing, this was him this morning. I sent him a scarf to wear, and he had to wear that. And I was actually proud of him. He wore the entire message he had. So there he is, Reverend David Dr. Alexander at the Spiritual Living Center in Atlanta. And because we are many of the centers on the same topic, he's speaking on the same topic I am today. Prove it. Now, I was tempted just to listen to his talk and copy it, but I already have mine done. So it's great. The other thing I want to let you know about thinking about this community is we do have our annual community meeting right after this service here. It is going to be on Zoom. We had to move it to Zoom rather than our usual YouTube because we have to vote, and there's no way to count votes on StreamYard or YouTube. So this is, we do have a meeting ID. We'll send it out in the chat box at the end of the service for you to have it. But it's also right here if you want to take a screenshot, if you know how to do that. It'll be sent out to you, so you can do that. And please be a part of that. We have some important information about just community updates, financial updates, as well as voting for new board members. We have 5 new board members, a slate of board members. So please be a part of that. And also, you'll see in your seat, there's just a piece of paper. You don't need to pay much attention to that now, but I'll let you know what it is. It is a list of just phrases and comments and identity statements. And we are seeking to be more than what we're not. You know, a lot of people know us for what we're not. We want to be for what we are, and how we are out into the community and how we represent ourselves, who we believe we are in our beliefs, as well as who we'd like to be known as, both now and as a legacy into the future. More and more, those kind of decisions are making a lot of impact on me personally, about thinking about what I'm doing now that's going to affect generations to come. And I'd like our center to have that focus too. So just begin. If you're not going to be here for the meeting, you're welcome to fill it out now. The idea is that you check 5 or 6 of those boxes that resonate with you. And we'll have the chance to kind of debrief that and talk more about it in the meeting today, what those sentences mean to you. So if you stay around, we'll be able to talk more about that. We also have a survey online that I'll send out to you virtually, because you want to have a piece of paper, and I'll send that out later as well. So let you know that. Next Sunday, we're having a new member class to learn more about our center, as well as our roots, so to speak, of who we are and what that means to be a member. If you're interested, whether you're ready to commit that or not, you just want to get more information about it, feel free to stay here in the sanctuary for after the service on next Sunday, that is. And then on also the Saturday before that, so this coming Saturday is the 5th annual celebration of Black History Month, and we do that with it's part of the interfaith group and part of JT Thompson. What he does, he's the promoter of that. They're doing it over at Crossrock Church, but this year it's virtual anyway, so it doesn't really matter the location in a lot of ways. It's free to attend, and they're going to have speakers and music and a cultural celebration, as well as, if you're interested in the meal, there's a soul food experience, they're calling it, with local Black-owned winery available to go. Meal tickets are $25, must be purchased in advance by this coming Wednesday. So if you're interested in that, and then you would drive up to Crosswalk, pick that up, and you could experience that. 2 years ago, I think it was, they had a buffet because we could do it in person. It was really fun to have the soul food experience. So if that interests you, let you know about that. I'll send it out. It should be on our website, but it not be yet. I'll put it out today, and I'll send it to you personally if you're interested in that. So, yeah. Also know that we offer prayer here after the service with our practitioners. That if you want to have one-on-one brief affirmative prayer, or if you want to do a prayer request, there's prayer request in the lobby or online that you can do. And know that we are here for you for any kind of support that you may need. And also, you can find information on our website. Evidently not all the information you need, but I'll correct that today. It's a very easy website to add and take away things for. So, and then we have ongoing, it'll talk about our Spanish speaking meditation and ministry that is on the 2nd and 4th Sundays, and other things that you might want to know. So with that said, let's start the sacred part of our service. Let's welcome back Dinah.
Wait, we're not quite done with the
Oh yes, I forgot that. Sorry. So we wanted to honor.
Actually, is Martha here? So this is a stealth honoring. Come on up, board members.
Oh, I've been. Okay.
So, we're all very excited about this community award that we won, and it really speaks to all of us that we won it. And Reverend Jay honored last week all those folks who were engaged in making that happen, except one, that guy. So now all of us, the whole community, the practitioners, and in particular the board, would like to thank Reverend Jay for fostering and leading a community that is so engaged, positive, and open, and for leading by example with his engagement and his commitment. I understand why he didn't single himself out, but that's why we're here today. And thank you so much from our hearts to yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And this little piece of greenery is for your office.
Oh, thank you. It'll probably go home. Thank you so much. And then also, we wanted to honor the Spanish-speaking ministry, but I'm not sure if Martha's online right now or not. We can't really put a picture of her. And Imelda Gomez is in New York celebrating her birthday. So we want to honor both of them. And so we have flowers for them, and we'll deliver them to their house. Martha lives a little far away, but we'll figure out how to get it to her. So let's give the Spanish-speaking ministry a round of applause. Did you want to say anything more about that?
I have some remarks, but I want to make them when you're both here.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Now we'll have the contemplative part of our service.
Yeah.
Everybody just go, ah. As we prepare for this sacred moment, I invite you to just relax and listen to these words. In the calm
of your presence. I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. In the calm of your presence, I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. Let your word speak to me. In your spirit, there's no fear. I'll hasten to the truth that I hear. In the calm of your presence, I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. There's a thirst in my soul for your wisdom divine. I long for the peace and life that I find in the calm of your presence. I am listening, Lord. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. I am still, I am quiet, I am yours. I'm gonna be still and know I am. I am.
Good morning. It's time for the opening invocation and prayer. So as we just settle back in our seats right now, and we open it up to that creative process, that infinite energy, that oneness that we are all connected to and weave together with. And we just know that that connection, that life, that power is energizing every molecule and cell within our being right here, right now in this very room. And everyone out there in Zoom land right now. We just know that that energy, that concept, that power, that creative force that comes through each and every one of us, it's this ministry, the center for spiritual living, that consciousness with each and every one of us, that race consciousness is bringing together each and everyone, that total possibility of total love, that perfect atonement, that at one-ment that we find in our mind, body, and soul. And we just know that the service today, the message today, and all the people in the background that were here this morning very early getting all this together, we know that that spirit and that energy is just filling their body, soul as they give back in different forms and ways. As we just give that creative consciousness and bring it together as one, because we are one. We are one in ourself, in our mind, body, and spirit. And now, as we take this time and give thanks in silent meditation, we'll just slip into the consciousness right now, knowing that we are all connected, everyone in this very room, and wherever we are sitting right now, we know that consciousness is here. We know that that breath, that life force is with us right now, healing every thought, healing every soul, whatever ailment we have within our body. And we just say yes as we go into the silence. breathing in and letting any negative energy out. We are healed. We are whole. Knowing that that life light is with us right now. In each beat of our heart, we are connected. We are ever so connected. And as you bring your consciousness back to this very room, when you're ready, open your eyes and just say yes to the very moment, to what we have right now, because that's what it is. It's right now. And I say yes. Well, good morning. It's nice to be here. Well, I was looking at some stuff. I always try to get my mind ready for when I come here. The topic that Jay's going to talk today is called Prove It. And then when I was looking through some things that sounded like it was Ernest Holmes' birthday this week or today, maybe even today. So I always wanted to say happy birthday to Ernest. And he wrote a little quote here called, "Abundance is mine. I cannot be deprived of my supply. The trees do not lack for leaves, nor do the flowers fail to bloom." So each day I try to, they say prove it. I like to practice what I preach. To me, my integrity means everything in the world. How I carry myself, how I walk through life, interact with each and every point. I try to what you see is what you're going to get, and sometimes I'm just in blind faith. There's been many times I don't know what to think, what's going to happen. There's so much in the world. They say, prove it. My mother once stated to me once, too much analysis makes paralysis, and I always love that line, because the ego is always trying to find something that we already have. We're out there, trying to find things that, validate this, validate that. And we spend so much time and we miss what's happening right now. I always try to search from inside my heart. Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? One of my favorite lines out of the Course in Miracles. So with that being said, it's just a matter of being in that place right now to understand and stay instead of being understood. To me, that's part of proving it. There's so much stuff on the media today, so much stuff that we can get so confused over. Should I go this way? Should I go that? So I always try to go in. That outside projection, those internal and external forces can create havoc in my mind. They can keep me paralyzed. Like I said, too much analysis. Like, where am I getting too much data? There's so much data these days. So what I try to do is find that still, quiet voice, the quiet one within my mind, the quiet one within my body, my soul. That's the one I trust. Not that ego mind. It's always telling me, so I try to slow down and stop, smell the roses, notice the hawks flying around or the eagles, wherever you're at, and just be in that space, that quiet space. That quiet space is where the answers are going to be. With that, I want to say thank you for having me here today. And it's grateful to see everybody here in the room. It's been a while since I've been here, but I just love you all and thank you.
I'm back. Presence of love is flowing in me. I walk in it each day. Like the northern star in the midnight sky, it illuminates my way. Like the shade trees in summer to protect my weary soul. In the midst of my journey, I know that it's all under control. There is only one love and one presence. Greater is the presence within me than anything in this world. There is nothing nothing but God. In all the universe, nothing but God. You can sing along. There is nothing but God. In all the universe, nothing but God. Spirit watches over me, no matter where I go. On a ship, a plane, an automobile, it's comforting to know. And if I get a little distressed watching the evening news, I remember and I whisper this simple prayer of truth. There is only one force and one presence. Greater is the presence within me than anything in this world, than anything in this world. There is nothing but God in all the universe, nothing but God. Let me hear you say, there is nothing but God in all the universe, nothing but God. There is one power, there is one presence, there is one power, and that power is love. Help me sing. There is nothing but God in all the universe, nothing but God. Y'all sound mighty good. There is nothing but God in all the universe, nothing but God. Woo! Thank you.
Be done here to get ready here. I'm still messed up here. So it's such a blessing to be with everybody today, and just like a lot of trying to get untangled here, right? Some stuff that's over here. I just love this topic, prove it today. What I know is about prove it. I love the topic because it, when you think about it, we often talk about that divine intelligence is not being a he or she or even they, but a impersonal yet personal within us it. So proving the divine intelligence, the unseen life force, in such a way that science would say that for something to be proven, it has to be verifiable and it has to be repeatable, right? You have to be able to do the same things and get a sense of the divine. Now, we know some situations in our life need a higher calling, a higher answer, a higher response, and yet it is still the same God. What I love science, and I am a follower of science in all ways. But what's interesting about science is most scientists don't consider the divine intelligence is a variable, and I believe that divine intelligence is a constant. It's not a variable, it's a constant in our lives, and we're the variable. We're the ones that had, to the degree to the consciousness we have is the degree of heaven, the degree of happiness and contentment and peace we feel. I want to prove it in a way that doesn't rely on blind faith. I agree, like Michael was talking about, that we surrender and we trust. but I also want to be awake and aware in my faith, awake and aware to use the spiritual tools consciously, intentionally, so I know that if that's the constant spiritual consciousness, if I'm not creating that which I want, then I need to go within and find if there's anything there that is left unturned, no stone unturned, so that I can create that which I'm seeking to do. Now, what I know is the divine intelligence that is known by many names in this world: God, Yahweh, Allah, Holy Spirit, divine knowingness, Great Spirit, is not a Christian, not a Jew, not a Muslim, not a Taoist. It just is. But in my human expression, and in my curiosity, and my mystical meanderings, and my desire to quench the thirst of my soul, I am a Christian because I follow the teachings of Jesus. I'm also Jewish because I read the Old Testament, the Kabbalah, the Talmud. I am also a Taoist because I study the teachings of the Tao. I'm a Buddhist and a Hindu because I read and study and follow the teachings of Hinduism and Buddhism. I'm even possibly, I don't know if I'd consider myself a Muslim, but I do study Islam and the mystical teachings of Islam, which is Sufi. I'm a pagan because I honor the solstices and the equinoxes and the full moons. I'm a panentheist, which is a big name for someone who believes that God is in all things and God is greater than that which is we experience. I'm a mystic. I'm a revealer of the truth. I'm a spiritual teacher and minister. I'm a member of the and spiritual director of this Center for Spiritual Living. I'm all of that, and yet above all, I'm a religious scientist. Now, that's a word we don't use very much anymore, because religious science, and this used to be the Napa Valley Church of Religious Science, all the centers for spiritual living across this nation were all Church of Religious Science. And we found that name was confusing to people because, first of all, people were not really interested in religion anymore. Some people are, but more and more people that are curious seekers and beings who are on a spiritual path, so to speak, are not as much interested in religion. So it's a turn off to say religious science. And also science was confusing because they confused us with Christian Science or Scientology, not really who we are. So it was a natural evolution for us to rebrand ourselves as the Center for Spiritual Living. It made sense to do that. And I am still a religious scientist, because in the true term that Ernest Holmes talked about, Ernest Holmes, our founder, and other New Thought, the Fillmores, Quimby's, all of the founders of New Thought people, they were really all religious scientists because they sought to have a formula, spiritual tools, spiritual principles they relied on and use that to create. And the way they knew it worked is if they got the results they wanted. And that's what science is, right? We seek mental science or spiritual science, if you want to call it. And this is a philosophy, a way of life. It's not just something we experiment with from time to time. It's a way of life. Ernest Holmes said this. I really love this quote. One of the greatest difficulties in the new order of thought, which what he called it at the time, is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. As a matter of fact, we only know as much as we can prove by actual demonstration. That which we cannot prove may or may not be true. That which we can prove certainly may be and is the truth. So we can make a lot of stuff up, right? But what we know is that which we create, that which we can experience, that which we can observe, is a way of proving it. The science seeks to prove things in many ways. The people, and it's good to think about science in a lot of ways because there's a lot of myth and a lot of assumptions made even in our mainstream media about what is proof. They'll throw headlines out to you about this and that, and as you start looking into the body of the article, you realize it's similar to this, or it might be this, but there's no hard proof of it. So science depends on observations of a problem or a situation, but it's, observations are held up to perceptions that can change. They also do research about a cause and a pattern. Correlations, they're often called sometimes. So, correlations might say that people that exercise at least 3 times a week are happier. So people might make the conclusion, therefore, exercise makes you happy. I don't know about you, but exercise rarely makes me happy. It's something I do, but I don't know if a nice walk out in nature, sure, but exercise itself doesn't cause my happiness, the results of it. But also you look at people that exercise, they tend to be more proactive in their life anyway. So there are people that eat healthier. There are people that are considered healthy relationships. They consider different things in their life. So it's not just the exercise, but people make the summary that it's only exercise that makes you happy. It does make you happier, I'm sure, but there's so many other things in our lives that also make us happy. There's also a study out that says people who are in spiritual communities who are engaged in people live an average of 7 years longer. Well, I like that study. That sounds great. But then also you look at it, this is just a correlation. There's no proof. When you get to the experimentation part of science, in order to be valid, you have to have a blind study. And a blind study means there's a group of people that are not community, people that are in community. They didn't do that kind of study. So we know that people are in community are also proactive in their lives, just like people that exercise. There's other factors in that. But I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to say, because I'm not willing to take a group of you and go, okay, this half here, for the next year, you're not allowed to come here anymore, okay? And we're going to see if you're happy or not. We're going to walk out not happy to start with, right? I want us all to participate in this experiment of community because I think it brings us closer. I think we do live happier. I don't know about longer, but I know we're more content, more happier. And I don't have to have an experiment to do that, but it's kind of fun to play with this idea. So if you look at the way scientists perform an experiment, they observe a problem. They look to see if there's any causes or patterns or research about ways that do that. They set a hypothesis. So, well, if we do this, this will probably happen. And then they have the experiment in a laboratory. Now, every scientist will tell you that any experiment done out in the real world has too many variables, and they would not be able to make any conclusions about a science experiment. But that's what we are doing. We are experimenting in the greater world. So if we look at the way we can experiment things, that we can observe and experience life as it is. We can, if it's something that maybe it's something we really enjoy and it's good in our life, we want to have more of it, that's great. Or if it's something we don't desire, a lack, a situation in our relationships, our jobs, our inner being, our health, then we seek to know a cause or consider a cause or notice patterns in our lives. Now, just like Michael was talking about, that search for a cause can leave us into analysis paralysis, and we don't want to do that. So we look softly at a cause. We don't demand to know a cause. We don't have to know a cause to improve or change our conditions. But we look softly at it because if we know it's possible that there's a cause there, and be open to it, because the truth is, because we're doing these experiments in real life, it can reveal itself as we live life, that we notice that we have this response when we think this, or notice the belief we have when we're feeling this. So we can notice there's a connection there. And then we go through what if, hypothesize, we vision, we allow Spirit to come in us, because that's the real way of healing. It's not trying to figure out how to heal something or how to reveal something. It's letting Spirit reveal it in us, through us. The greater consciousness that comes through. And then we set the intention around that, we surrender, and then we experiment. We lessen the variables as much as possible. We keep it the same, and then we observe our results. So first of all, let's talk about observing. This is the Signs of Mind symbol. Hopefully you recognize that by now. If not, this is the Signs of Mind symbol. That's part of our symbol for our teaching symbol, it's called. And to me, this represents the grand experiment of life, our spiritual path we go on. We come to our place of a divine connection, of a surrender, of noticing what's in our lives, and we give it up to God. We give it up to a greater power within us, and we set intentions, and it goes into the V into life, which creates our experience. Now, it goes through layers. If you look at these layers, it goes through layers of our beliefs, of the condition itself, of cultural norms and beliefs, familial patterns in our own lives that we come through. But the stronger our connection, the stronger our intention, the more we're able to create in our lives, is the simple way of doing that. Remember that you are the variable, and the constant are these spiritual principles. The constant is Spirit itself. With that said, sometimes when we observe something, we are humans. So when we have a diagnosis, a prognosis, a feeling of lack or being unworthy, regret, a feeling of hurt, of unforgiveness within us, we have an emotional response to it. And, we talk about being not attached, but that doesn't mean to be detached in life. When violence happened, like last week, the violence that happened at the synagogue in Texas, I don't want to be so not attached that I don't feel that I don't grieve for the people affected by violence or by anything that they're by any kind of disaster they're affected by. I want to be present with that. So in our observance in our own life, we want to be present. And we don't want to get overwhelmed by it, because sometimes our fears and anxiety can be too much. And it's really not as bad as we think. And when we go within Spirit, we find that peace. I have a little meme here that should come up here in a minute. Yeah, it's like this kid, right? You've seen this one on? It's really not that deep. I don't know about you, but that's me some days, right? I'm crying and screaming, and the Spirit goes, it's not that deep, guy. Come on. That we just need to get that perspective within. We need to balance ourselves and recognize, because what I know is that I can create a lot of fear, a lot of concern and panic, but really when I go within, I feel that peace. I heard it when I was at convention last week. A friend of mine gave a talk about being a, let me get the exact term here because it's an interesting term, an apocalyptic optimist. Apocalyptic optimist, which means I am really concerned about the state of the environment, and it's going to get worse if we don't do anything about it. I'm concerned about the social and political splits in this country. I'm concerned about the violence, and I'm an optimist. I believe things are going to turn out okay. So I'm a apocalyptic optimist. So it's a little chaos sometimes with me about that. Oh no, it's going to be okay. Right? But the difference for me is Spirit itself that's within me that finds that calm that's within me. And I established that clearly as we move through, that we consider a cause, we notice patterns that might be present, anything that is here. We don't need to blame ourselves or go through an analysis of it. We just look at it softly and then trust the Spirit will reveal what we need to know. Causes known and unknown, we move forward and know and create that which is within us. Pema Chandran, who's a Buddhist teacher, said, well, the painful thing is that when we buy into disapproval, we are practicing disapproval. When we buy into harshness, we are practicing harshness. The more we do it, the stronger these qualities become. How sad it is that we become so expert at causing harm to ourselves and others. The trick then is to practice gentleness and letting go. We can learn to meet whatever rises with curiosity. We've been talking a lot about this a month, with curiosity, and not make such a big deal out of it. So we notice, we observe when we are catastrophizing something, and we come back to center and choose that which is there. I think a great example is this wonderful pandemic. I know we're so tired of it, so tired of it. And we're still doing everything we can. We talk about what we can control, just like the serenity prayer, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. When we're talking about COVID, there are certain things we can do, certain things we can't control, and in the middle, we just trust in Spirit that we're doing the best we can and being at peace with that. And what we can do might be different for each of us, what we choose to do at which level. But whatever we choose, we feel confident in our choices and be at peace and find that peace within ourselves. And then we move into the what if, into the wonder, the wondering, not only wondering, but wondering what could be, what would love look like, what would open up for us in that way. And we set our intention that's there, our affirmative prayer, which if you go back to the teaching symbol is we have that connection with Spirit. And that's probably the biggest difference. Both Unity and Centers for Spiritual Living and independent religious science churches, the biggest difference of the kind of prayer we do is connecting with Spirit first. We don't start with a pleading. We don't just say, dear God, and then start into the prayer. We take time to be in the presence. And it's from that place that we affirm what is true for us. And that's setting that intention that's so important. But it's also in that process we surrender and we let go. In my email this week, I don't know if you get it or not, or took the time to read it, but I was talking about an example 30 years ago when I was really frustrated with my job. I was being criticized by my supervisor. I felt stuck in the job because of my education and my experience, and I didn't think I could do anything. But guess what? I gave it up to God. I gave it up to Spirit. And guess what? I felt at peace. Guess what? I didn't get an answer. Darn. That's what I was looking for. I wanted an answer. I was attached to that answer, right? I let it go. Okay. It'll come when it's time for me to hear it. A couple days later, I woke up in the middle of the night, early morning, and had this dream about me being a school counselor. My brain started going, I'm not qualified for that. I'm not licensed for that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I go, whoa, this is a big dream. This is Spirit coming through me. There's something coming through here. So I went that day down to the human resources, and come to find out they were having a special opening because they had so many openings of people that had some experience but didn't have the license, and it was the last day to apply for that job. Wow. That's Spirit. But you got to give it up first. You got to give away your attachments. You got to say, what is it that I really wanted? Well, I wanted an experience of being connected to people and doing and using my skills, and that's what it does. That's what Spirit does through us. And we just continue to open up to knowing that sometimes our faith is based on seeing at first, but the truth is, if we believe it first within, then we will see it. So really, believing is seeing. And so we can understand that, and we can experience, and we can practice the presence, and we can observe that which is coming through us in all ways. And this is the way that we create. This is the way that we know. And what I know about this community is this is our experiment. In our personal lives, we can use these spiritual principles to create. And I think going to classes, and we'll have more classes here in the spring, there's ways to learn to practice in the class, and so we practice out into the world, and that helps us. But also just being in community, because you resonate, you harmonize, and we pray together and work together. I'm still just loving this quote by Ernest Holmes about, oops, jumped ahead of myself here, I think. I might not. It was from last week. So what it said was that we work and pray together, a great moral and spiritual power, and it's an actual soul force will penetrate the whole world, helping to bring confidence and calm judgment and right action. So us as a community, we are a soul force working together because we work together in service, in doing things, in little things and big things, and we pray together. And there's a harmonization there that together we are creating and making a difference. The pieces of paper that I handed out today, there's some phrases in there that talk about more than what we do in the moment, but what we do in the moment is creating a world that works for everyone. We're changing the world several generations to come. So what I'd ask you to do before you leave today, whether that's before the service ends or right after the service, it doesn't have to be during the service, or during the meeting today, just to check off some of those. I'll send the survey out to people online. I'll send it out on email is the best way to do it rather than a moving target online. But there's a survey online you can take as well, and invite you to be a part of that. And from that, it's not a one-day thing over the next month into February, since this month is almost over. So February, we're going to be taking these and bringing them into marketing and more of an identity of our community. So thank you for being a part of that. So let us go to prayer. What I know, that Spirit is all there is. Right here and right now. And I am so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for this community that comes together in this knowingness of the power of the presence of Spirit within us. And it's from this place of oneness we know the truth of who we are. I know that all those who are seeking through their words within, through prayers requested, through prayers spoken out loud, through their intentions in just this very moment, that the Spirit is acting upon these words and these thoughts and these intentions in this grand experiment that we call life. The Spirit is working and healing and revealing through us in this very moment, as well as those whom we pray for. I know we just allow Spirit to move through us as us in this moment. In gratitude and love, I release this onto the wings of law and love, knowing it is so. And so it is. All right. We welcome back Dinah.
We can prove it. Master teacher said we will do greater things. I know I was born with a purpose. I strive so hard to do all the good I can. And sometimes I wonder, is it enough as I strive to make a difference? I believe I was meant to be a blessing, and in my heart there's a song that I must sing, ringing true and flowing deep. There's a voice that says to me, greater things, yes we will do. Greater things, yes we will do. Greater things. The past seems like it's far in the distance. Now I'm reaching for new heights and higher planes. I'm not satisfied with the status quo or what used to be. It's time I grab a hold and live my wildest dreams. My faith is strong and my options are endless. I'm looking up the road, and as far as it stretches, I see possibilities. The world is calling to me. Greater things, yes you must do. Greater things, yes you must do. Greater things. So many miracles are waiting to express and unfold. I gotta use my faith and my courage to be bold, to answer the call to do greater things, yes we will do. Greater things, we will do. Greater things, yes we will do. Greater things, we will do. Greater things, we will do. Greater things. Yes, we will.
Thank you. It's so lovely to have you here today. Let's give her another round of applause. So this is a time in our service when we are given the opportunity to participate in the law of circulation and the sharing of our abundance. We know that which we give comes back to us in tenfold, that which opens our heart, opens our mind and our mindfulness, and establishes a reception to Spirit. So we appreciate your participation in it. There's a number of ways to participate in our sharing of abundance, and you'll see the screen on the somewhere there should be. There it is. Ways to donate to it. There's texting, there's links online, as well as to participate here in the service. And if you so are willing to do it here, there's a basket in front and one in the back. You can put that in there, and that's a walk. As well as if you participate online and you're here in person, we have plastic cards that you can put in, because sometimes it's the walking of it and participating and blessing our abundance even adds to that. So let us just take our gifts today, whether it be one of heartfelt love or one of financial abundance that you have, and hold it up to your heart and repeat this affirmation with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is. Yeah, sorry, I didn't keep.
Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I know forevermore that I am loved. We are here to love and serve. Yes, I am. We are loved. Amen. So it is. I am here to live. Yes, I am here to be.
Thank you. We are here to serve. We are here to love. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A couple reminders is the meeting is right after this service, and if the production crew could, or you could just scroll up and find that link again for the Zoom link. It's in your chat there. It was also sent out on email today for those of you who are online. Also, I forgot to mention that we are doing, this is our second peace poll, one we keep permanently here, and this is our mobile peace poll that you can have in your own yard if you so like. I will hand deliver it to you. And if you're there, I'll place it where you would like to place, and we can have a conversation. But it's a fundraiser, so it's a requested donation of $100. But if you are interested in having this in your yard to spread the peace in your neighborhood, just give me an email, or there's a form online to fill out for that. So that's available to you. It's going over to Johanna's and Harris's house today after the service. So I will see you shortly after the meeting today. And then also we like to have our affirmation of people who might be here for the first time. If this is your first time with us, if you could raise your hand, we want to honor you. We have a gift for you as well as a blessing for you. Anybody here for the first time? Okay, anybody here online for the first time? You can raise your hand too. Oh, well, that's true. Well, and Dinah, you are here for the first time. So we have a blessing, and we also have a birthday boy in the back, Harris, today. We usually honor birthdays. So you're still young in my eyes, I guarantee it. So as much admiration for you. And to Dinah, anybody else who might be here online for the first time, we just raise our hands and say the blessing. We bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Please know we're here for prayers afterwards, either in person, if practitioners could stand who are going to be praying with people after the service, you can meet them here. We are going to keep the time brief because we have the meeting here afterwards. And then we have a community affirmation, and we'll do our closing song. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I am protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I am so grateful. And so it is.
And I invite you to stand for our closing song. So great to be back with you guys. I was gone for my birthday and the convention. It was so beautiful to be able to be there and witness as Jay was able to receive the community award for all of us. It was just wonderful to see how humble and honored he was to receive that for all of us. So with that, you guys know this one. We're going to do I, you, we, and then I am filled with loving kindness. So you can sing along with me, or you can just listen. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. Now may we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. And so it is. Blessed be. Thank you.
As we go forward, we go in peace and know all is well. Please stay for the community meeting and have a blessed day. Oh, and go 49ers, right?